If you have ADHD, you know getting things done is really difficult. Hey everyone, my name is George Sachs. I'm a clinical psychologist and one of the co-founders of Inflow. I also have ADHD, so I'm very familiar with today's topic, and that is procrastination. If you have ADHD, you know getting things done is really difficult. I equate it to climbing Mount Everest without oxygen, and it takes like 30 minutes just to get the smallest step done. And so that's why I've come up with the procrastination checklist, which is a mental checklist I go through when I'm procrastinating something. And this really helps me unlock at what point in the process I'm really stuck. Okay, so the first question to ask yourself is, do I want to do this task or do I have to do it? And have to tasks are like things for work or paying your taxes or some paperwork, etc. We're going to talk about have to tasks in a second, but right now we're going to focus on the other tasks. These are tasks that you want to do, like a hobby or something like that, but you're still procrastinating. And so the next question to ask yourself in the procrastination checklist is, do I still want to do this? I mean, I wanted to learn guitar, but I haven't done it for years. Do I still want to learn this? I've been beating myself up over and over because I haven't moved forward. So let me ask myself again, do I still want to learn guitar? And the answer might be no. You know what? No, I actually am not really that interested in it anymore. And that's okay. And then you can cross that off and you don't have to do that. But if the answer is, yeah, I actually still want to learn guitar, it's authentic to me and my interests, because once you reconnect that task to who you are, you're going to increase the motivation. Maybe you want to play guitar at your daughter's wedding, and that's going to bring you a lot of joy. Well, that's a motivating reason. Okay, so you can see how connecting it to your authentic self might improve motivation, but still you're procrastinating. So now we're in the same category of have to and want to tasks that we're procrastinating. And so whether you have to do it for work or you want to do it, but you're still procrastinating, the next question in the checklist is, what are the emotional roadblocks that are blocking me? And so in the case of playing guitar at your daughter's wedding, maybe you're afraid of being embarrassed, or you want it to be perfect and you know you can't be. Or maybe for work, it's a similar thing, perfectionism or imposter syndrome or fear of failure. There are many different emotional roadblocks that get in the way of us getting things done. And we talk about all of them in the Inflow app. But for our purposes, just recognizing that there is an emotional roadblock is really important. And taking time to process this emotional roadblock with friends or family or a therapist is going to be really helpful to moving through it. And so once you've identified the emotional roadblock and processed it, you still might be procrastinating, and that's okay. That's normal. And that gets us to the final question. Have I externalized my motivation? And what this means is that the voice of motivation, of internal motivation, is weaker with adults with ADHD. This is just a fact. And if we truly accept our ADHD, we know that, and that's okay. We accept that it's hard to get things done. And that's why we have to externalize the motivation, which means finding outside support to motivate us and get us moving. And so one way to externalize the motivation with playing guitar is to find a guitar teacher. We're going to have to pay them and show up for the classes, whether on Zoom or in person. It's going to be motivating and help us push through the fear or the emotional roadblocks. And so say you have a project for work that you're procrastinating. Maybe you talk to a colleague about getting support or setting mini deadlines to check in with them. These are all forms of external motivation. But the key is it's outside of us and often involves another person. So that's a small snapshot of the procrastination checklist, and I'm going to put it up here so you can see. And if you want more brain hacks and more information about ADHD, follow us here or check out the Inflow app. Take care.